The Northeast is really starting to take the lead as probably the best place to buy real estate in the United States right now. And I examine every market. It's more modest if you're in the South, like in Texas and in Florida. It's a little more modest, not terrible. The middle parts of the country, of course, there's pockets that are stronger or weaker, but a little bit more modest, but still pretty good. The West is cooling a little bit with the exception of Florida, but the Northeast is red hot and will continue that way, and it's a huge opportunity going forward.
Barry, do you think that the media, not only are they looking for the scare tactic, excuse me, but are they just misinformed and not boots on the pavement like yourself and myself? Do you think there's an element of just lack of education as well?
Well, Greg, it's always great to hear from you and your insights. And I think that you are spot on that whether by design or just because it's kind of like a mile wide and an inch deep, the media oftentimes does not go, they don't have an understanding, so they're kind of relaying a message. Look, we can all, everybody who's listening, can all relate to their specific job. And if you were to talk about your specific job and all of the intricacies that you do, or something that you're very familiar with, and then if you were to just relay that to somebody in a very quick synopsis, and now expect them to teach that to somebody else, a lot's going to fall through the cracks, and that's what happens with the media. They don't understand the depth or breadth of it. They're not necessarily good with understanding the statistical information. They don't really understand the buyer mentality or how things go, and now they have a responsibility to report it. So in many cases, I don't want to beat up on them because they probably are trying to do a very good job. It just is difficult to get all of that correct and understand the true meaning behind it, and especially when you know that the more negative you report, the better your ratings are going to be.
What do you feel is contributing to the low inventory here in the Rhode Island and Massachusetts housing markets?
Well, first of all, you're not alone, okay? The much of the country is experiencing exceptionally low inventory.
Sure is.
And it's because for the last 3 years, builders have been putting up homes at a specific pace, but the amount of household formations has exceeded household completions by 1.5 million more households being formed than builders are putting up. It is sheer supply and demand. As these households get formed, what you'd like to see is the amount of supply for those households kind of matching it. But builders are having a tough time with that for several reasons. Reason number one, land is tight, especially in the Northeast. Reason number two, labor is tight. Reason number three, builders can't keep up. And reason number four is that costs for things like lumber and other materials are expensive.
Sure.
And let's face it, builders, if they're going to do this, they're going to take on the risk. They want to rightfully earn a profit, which means it is difficult for builders to be able to build homes under $200,000 and make a profit with all the compliance, regulation, risk, cost, fees involved. The problem is you do have underserved areas that would love to have those lower priced homes, but they just can't get in, and that's why you're having this imbalance here.